This is the Amateur Fanboy Podcast with your hosts, Chase Aguirre and Mike Hurtaza. Boom, boom, boom! It has been a crazy first few hours of free agency. It's about 8 o'clock here on the Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, dude, I was about to move furniture, and it was about 2:55. I'm waiting for my parents to get home, and all of a sudden 3 o'clock hits. Swear to God, like 8 notifications hit my line, like boom, boom, boom. It was like they had him ready in the dress.
Woj,
Shams,
for a while.
Chris, dude, they were all knocking
I will
out.
say, these players are definitely talking to teams before free agency even starts.
No, Magic, I guarantee you, has already talked to. They said Sunday, but I guarantee they talked Saturday.
But I'm talking about the players who signed literally at the second.
We're not going to act like tampering, like they haven't been talking this entire time.
But let's just go through it before we hit on the Lakers. We knew about Kemba Walker, so he signed with the Celtics, 4 years, $141 million.
Yeah.
I'll give it a push. I don't see him any worse or better than Kyrie.
And they lost Al Horford, so in my opinion, they didn't really get much better.
They didn't get better, but they didn't necessarily get like a whole lot worse.
Oh, they'll still be a playoff team.
They'll be a playoff team, but they won't make unless they somehow, I don't know who's available that they can trade for. Nobody.
No, I don't think anyone's out there anymore.
And then the Nets, which is the big one. They got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Gary Temple, and DeAndre Jordan. I like Kyrie Irving with KD. You're not going to get KD for a year. You don't even know what you're going to get, but you kind of have to take a risk. The only way you're going to be able to even compete.
Hear me out real quick on this. And I know, I think KD will probably be out all of next year, but if they, for some reason, make a playoff push and they make a run, maybe he comes back in the second round if everything goes right. But it's probably not likely.
I'm going to assume that the Nets are going to be trash this year.
I would think so.
I think they're going to be a lottery pick.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But the one thing I don't get is this like you have to bring DeAndre Jordan on the team. I don't think he makes you any better.
And they all took less money.
And
so
it's just like a buddy thing. Like to me, it just.
If you told the Nets, hey, you got to sign DeAndre Jordan for this, but you get these two guys, they probably.
I'm sure on the Nets on that side, but like as a player, like
no, of course,
I want to bring the best players.
No, definitely.
And DeAndre Jordan at this point in his career, maybe he turns around. Who knows? Playing with KD and Kyrie Irving might turn out to be.
He has improved his free throws, but anyway, keep going.
But this team, I don't think this team's gonna be very good this season, but that's okay because they're not looking to win a championship this year. They're looking.
They're gonna be 2021, 2022.
Hornets got Terry Rozier. They overpaid, 3 years, $58 million, which is crazy.
And it ended up being a 3-team
it was a sign and trade.
No, 2-team sign and trade
for Kemba, Terry Rozier, and.
I don't think the Nets went in on it. I don't think because if the Nets had, then they would have had the middle level. I don't think they did. I think it was just a 2-team sign trade.
But yeah, I don't know what the Hornets are doing. Michael Jordan has at this point hasn't shown to be competent in running a team. I don't know. To me, at this point, instead of signing for Terry Rozier, I might have just thrown out I would have traded maybe for Wiggins. I'm not saying I'm getting much out of it and you're kind of stuck with a contract, but I see more potential.
That's another thing
getting Wiggins than signing to Terry Rozier.
We need to talk about with another free agent, D'Angelo Russell, but we can talk about
We'll go through this really quickly.
Keep going.
Bulls got Thad Young, good center. Mavs re-signed Porzingis, 5 years, $158. They had no choice. Pistons got Derrick Rose, and he did show up last season very well. See how he continues. Klay Thompson re-signed with the Warriors. Took forever to finally be announced.
Yeah, it just got announced like 15 minutes ago.
$190 million. And my thing there is, I think they're working on some sort of signing trade with Kevin Durant. I'm not sure if it's going to be more than an exception or some shitty player.
Yeah.
I keep seeing the rumors where D'Lo getting traded or D'Angelo Russell. I think that's a little harder to put together because he has to be on board. And I'm not sure how that would even fit on the team.
Well, with Kevin Durant leaving, you guys don't get that cap space. You guys are still
unless it's a sign and trade, and we get D'Angelo Russell.
Well, yeah, if you got a player, yes.
But the salary exception, I think can max out with what we have up to $30 million. I'm not sure how that plays out until we everything gets finalized.
It'll all get figured out in the next few days.
If that even happens, I'm not even saying it may happen, but. What's taking some of Klay Thompson, it looks like the Warriors are working on a signing trade with KD going to the Nets. Rockets are probably one. I'd probably say they're the ones that and the Knicks They're not doing anything that they've said that they're going to try to do.
Nope.
Gerald Green, we don't know. He re-signed Daniel House, 3 years, $11 million, and they haven't really done anything.
They basically added. They basically re-signed a couple of their players.
Yeah,
nothing great.
They're not any better or worse. Well, maybe worse because they're keeping Chris Paul at this point. Pacers lost some people, but they did trade for Malcolm Brogdon for 4 years, and Jeremy Lamb for 3 years, $31 million.
I think the winner of today so far was the Pacers. I think the Pacers got I think the Pacers have a chance to be a top 3 team in the East next year.
I will, but didn't they lose Bojan Bogdanovic as well?
They did, but I like essentially got Malcolm Brogdon and Jeremy Lamb for the same price. Give or take a couple million.
No, Malcolm is more. He's making more than Bojan, but he might be a better player.
But for a little bit more. Yeah, I think you got 2 for 1. I think that's better.
Clippers have yet to do anything. Lakers have yet to do anything because they're still in the Kawhi race. We'll talk about it after. Grizzlies re-signed Jonas
Valanciunas.
Yeah. Here's a big one. The Heat are doing a sign and trade for Jimmy Butler and they send what's his name? Josh
Richardson.
Richardson to
and
76ers.
And Kelly Olynyk
to the Mavs.
Yep.
And then so Jimmy Butler on the Heat. They're probably going to be a playoff team, but I don't see them going far. Who knows what they can still construct a team together. I'm curious to know if they trade Whiteside, kind of offload him. I'm not sure. Maybe they do a sign and trade for DeMarcus Cousins and they throw Whiteside to the Warriors. Who knows? That's a rumor that I saw today. We'll see if that even happens.
The Warriors are going to have to be very creative with how they get that team.
It's got to be some sort of sign and trade. They're going to have to figure it out because they literally can't do anything.
They really can't.
Outside of that.
You're right.
The Bucks re-signed Brook Lopez, 4 years, $52. Chris Middleton got a huge contract, and it's more of a. I think the only reason they even re-signed him is because it's Giannis's guy.
Yeah.
So 5 years, $178. I can see this biting them in the ass if Giannis leaves.
I got 1 minute. Not 1 minute. I got one.
And George Hill, 3 years, $29 million.
Is Chris Middleton? That's your best chance to keep that core together and to keep Giannis. And if for some reason if you weren't to sign Chris Middleton, very good chance that Giannis could have been good left in free agency.
I think Giannis has a chance to still leave.
And he still can. No, it's been brought up today. I believe 100%.
If they're not winning a championship, I mean, he has been extremely loyal, and everything that he says seems that he's going to resign. And the super max is huge. It's like it's going to be between every year kind of moves up. It's between like 40 and 50 million what he's able to get. We'll see if he does do that.
My thinking is if Kawhi does leave Toronto, the Bucks should be the favorites in the East next year.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
Nets restricted free agent D'Angelo Russell is a player of strong interest for the Warriors and potential sign and trade. Golden State has searched for avenues on Russell and is still evaluating next move. So it looks like they're working on a sign and trade, and they're really trying to push on Russell's end. We'll talk about it right now.
He said he preferred the Nets and the Lakers. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, it looks like he's going to go to Utah. Is it Utah?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota, sorry. But that also has to work out. They need to get Wiggins. They need to move a lot of contracts.
But doesn't D'Angelo have to agree to any sign-in trade?
Yes.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the Warriors are now they're gonna have to try to convince him. But we'll stick to this before we move on.
We'll go that.
T-Wolves again. They're looking to try to get D'Angelo Russell, but the problem is they don't have money until they move a bunch of contracts. And I'm not sure who's taking Wiggins' contract because that's 4 years. That's a lot of money.
Keith Smith, an NBA capologist, said there's only 4 teams over $20 million, which is essentially what Wiggins' contract is.
The Lakers, the Clippers,
the Mavericks, and the Knicks. And the Knicks are the only team I could see maybe trying to take a chance on it just to put butts in the seats. Other than that, the Mavericks aren't going to, and the Lakers and Clippers sure as hell aren't.
Wouldn't it be easier?
Actually, the Clippers might want to look at that if they miss out on Kawhi.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're kind of stuck with, like, if he...
It's an expiring, though.
No, it's not. He has 4 years left. Wiggins has
2 with an option.
4 years. I looked up his contract.
2 with an option, I thought.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't... The team.
Oh, no, you're right.
It's 4 years.
It's the other. It's Gallinari.
Yeah.
The Clippers. You're right.
So I looked up the contract. So
Good
moving
call.
on, this to me.
Don't call me out. Go for it.
This to me, the Pelicans. They just got favors. They got JJ Redick, I can't even pronounce his last name. Millie.
Yeah, Nicola Milli.
But JJ Redick and favors to me. They're building a good young, core. Still, JJ Redick is old and favors probably mid-20s. But I love the team. They're deep. Really, what's gonna, if they're able to move into the playoffs this year or next year, it's gonna fall on three guys, and I don't even know if BI is gonna even be the starter now that JJ Redick's there.
Oh no, BI will be the starter.
We'll see. They're paying JJ Redick.
I will put all the money in my savings on that. BI will be the starter.
But end of the day, Zoe, BI, and Zion, if those two guys start to pan out, they can be a playoff team fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So at end of the day, I really like what Griffin's doing.
I think they're starting. Sorry to interrupt you real quick, but I think their starting five next year will be Lonzo, JJ, BI, Zion, and whoever they want to put at the five.
I think they put Favors at 5.
Favors at the 5. Yeah. So that'll be the starting 5.
And then they drafted Hayes, and then they have Okafor as well.
Yeah, so those guys coming
so
up.
They have a good rotation. They have a good bench.
No, they have
a really good young core. I don't think the Pelicans could have done any better at this point. I think the best thing they probably done was get Griffin, because to me he's done everything correct, and he's building the team around Zion. The Knicks, and to me the Knicks and potentially the Clippers and the Rockets are having the worst offseason they could possibly have.
And we can all say the Lakers, even if they don't get Kawhi for some reason,
they got
fine.
AD.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, end of the day. We'll wait till after this.
I'm just so excited to talk about this.
I know. The Knicks got Julius Randle, 3 years, $65 million. I think it's a little overpay.
Okay.
Taj Gibson, 2 years, $20. Who cares? You traded Porzingis. You made all this cap room to sign a star, and you don't even offer him the max contract. To me, I know it's a big issue because he's coming off the injury, but you got to take the chance. The only way you're gonna be able to get a star is to sign KD. I don't even know if KD was the option, if he was even willing to go there. It seems like he wasn't.
If it wasn't for Kemba Walker, we'd be able to laugh at the Celtics and the Knicks today.
Yeah. I think this, but I'm just happy to laugh. The first thing when I saw that he signed, and I'm a Warriors fan.
I just can't wait to laugh at the Clippers and the Knicks.
I'm just happy to laugh at the Knicks because they were convinced they're going to get Zion, and then they were convinced they were going to get KD and Kyrie.
They were so confident. They were talking about trading Zion at the pick for Anthony Davis. I was like, Jesus, they're counting a bird before it hatched.
And everything has gone.
I loved every minute of that draft.
Knicks fans are crying. This has been probably one of the worst.
Oh, you see Stephen A. Smith today on the jump?
Yeah, he was crying for 3 minutes on Twitter.
All right, let's keep going.
Thunder, Nerlens Noel.
No,
he's re-signing, but he's asking him for a recommitment because he's asking for more money.
No, he's out.
He's out.
They signed Mike Muscala.
Okay, so I pull that off.
A little my thinking. Rich Paul got a call. Kawhi on the way. Nerlens Noel is going to be part of the veteran minimums the Lakers sign. That's my guess. I said it here on the pod. We'll see if it comes true.
Is he under
Clutch? Yep.
He's under Clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Magic re-signs Nikola
Vucevic,
Terrence Ross, and El Farouq Aminu.
I think Al Farouq Aminu is definitely a good get for them. They kept Ross, who was great in the playoffs last year, and Vucevic. I mean, he's a great center. He'll do a lot for them. I think that's. I think the Magic are definitely a top 5 seed in the East next year. I think that as of right now, I would say my top 5 teams in the East next year are the Bucks. In no particular order, the Bucks, the Pacers, the Celtics, 76ers, and the Magic.
And moving on to 76ers, I want to criticize some of their signings. I think Tobias Harris is way overpay.
They basically decided to max Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler.
Which
crazy.
It's crazy, but he is young and he hasn't shown that he's a one-year wonder. He has produced constantly, but it's not like he's not. You're paying him an all-star. You're paying him like he's a star, and he's not. I think in a couple years, in 3 years, their contract situation or their cap situation is going to be terrible. Because look, they're gonna start negotiating with Ben Simmons now.
Yeah,
we'll see how that works. They got Al Horford. I think if they would have let Tobias Harris go, signed Al Horford, it might have looked better. I think they'll still compete and probably be the number 1 seed if Kyrie goes to the Lakers.
Okay.
They'll probably be the top seed in the East, in my opinion, next year.
Who?
The 76ers.
I will still put the Bucks ahead of them, but they're right there behind them.
I just think 76ers haven't gotten worse. I think losing Jimmy Butler's not a big deal. As big as a deal.
But what did the Bucks lost, though?
The Bucks lost Brogdon.
Oh, they
up
did.
in Brogdon.
They lose Brogdon, but they.
But they're also not getting better.
But they kept Brook Lopez, who I think
Yeah.
was a lot bigger to that playoff run, and George Hill, I think, is a nice.
I'll say
nice
this:
start.
I think the
Nice.
Bucks
is nice.
window with not Giannis, but the team around them, they're like the 76ers the next 2 years. Really, they got to win the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And 76, same thing. They're going to be in contract hell.
The Bucks did get a first-round pick in this
For
next year's draft for Brogdon.
But to me, that doesn't help you now. I think I would probably try to move that, especially since is it the Pacers?
Yes, the
Is
Pacers.
it protected? I'm sure it's top 20
It's
protected.
gotta be protected.
So they'll probably. I would try to move it.
Most picks after the draft are usually protected.
I would probably try to move it for some cheap core, bench players. Try to.
No, it's smart.
And then Ricky Rubio again. The Suns do what the Suns do. They overpay. They do some crazy stuff.
Instead of giving D'Angelo Russell the $5-6 million, they want to
I think what they screwed up was in the draft is they took the center from the Celtics, would put them in a cap situation where they weren't able to actually be aggressive and sign Russell.
Mm-hmm.
But Ricky Rubio actually fits them fairly well.
Oh,
What, you got breaking news?
I think we do.
What do you got?
I think Danny Green is not coming back to Toronto.
Is there any specific?
I don't know. I saw a tweet said, so Green is gone from Toronto.
I know he's been talking with a couple teams.
I would say this is not a call. That call, but hold on.
Okay. Here we go. Golden State and Brooklyn are close to D'Angelo Russell signing trade deal to the Warriors.
All right.
It might happen. I'm curious to know, can they trade the rights to Russell? Since they have
I have no idea.
He's a restricted.
What, could the Warriors trade?
Can they trade for it, even though they haven't signed him?
I have no idea. I think they might have to extend him once.
Well, yeah. What he's gonna do is some team's gonna offer him a contract, and they're just gonna have to match it. Yeah. And so if he gets $20 million a year, the good thing, let me finish this before we go in.
Yes.
Let's finish this. So Ricky Rubio resigns. I like the fit. I don't like the overpay that they usually do. 3 years, 51, I think is ridiculous.
Okay.
I think he should have signed similar to a Derrick Rose. They probably should have gone for 2 years, $15 million. I think that's what he's worth.
Okay.
Blazers re-signed Damian Lillard. 4 years, 186. Rodney Hood re-signed as well. The Kings, I hate it, but I don't hate it. I think they way overpaid Harrison Barnes, 4 years, 88, but they got Trevor Ariza. So he's a good defensive player. Mm-hmm. Spurs re-signed Rudy Gay and Carroll. I think Carroll's a sign, right? He wasn't there. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna be competing anytime soon. Jazz, Bojan Bogdanovic, signed. He came from the Pacers. I like the fit. I think the Jazz is going to be a really good team. I'm not sure if they're going to be competing for a championship, but they're going to make a playoff push at this point. Yeah. And anyone who's predicting that they're going to, we'll have to see how this team works out.
We've seen the Warriors are on the verge of calling Russell, Trevion Graham, and Shabazz Napier from Brooklyn.
Dude, I'm going to say Bob Myers, if he's pulling this off.
That's not bad, but D'Angelo Russell's really nice, but
They can also move him, though. Yeah. You got to think they can still move him.
We shall see.
But let me finish this off. Wizards, without a GM, they signed Thomas Bryant 3 years, $25 million. But on to this. The Warriors on the verge of getting D'Angelo Russell. A couple things here. He is young. I want to see how this fits in. I'm not giving it... I'll give it a B because they're getting something for Kevin Durant, and we're not getting, a crappy thing. We're getting, something that has potential to be a very good player. So we'll see how that works out. I'm actually quite excited because we actually are able to bring something in. Now, are they competing this year? Probably not, no. Now, they could probably make it as an 8th seed to the playoffs, the Warriors, but that's probably it. Especially, to me, it doesn't matter what the Lakers do outside of, look, if you get Kawhi, if you get some bench players, a couple good role players, I think that regardless, they're going to be the team to go to the championship on the West. So, what do you think of this potential trade for the Warriors?
It's nice. It does take Plan B off, as Arash Markazi says. It does take Plan B off the table for the Lakers, but For me, I want it. Like I said, I'm willing to die on the Kawhi or die train. Like if we get Kawhi, great. If we don't, we still got Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And
well,
Kyle
you can
Kuzma,
also
and
go get potentially DeMarcus Cousins, some other players.
There's plenty of guys that are going to want to come play with that. I'm not even worried.
So, I guess I'll let Chase get excited here. We'll get on this Lakers.
I'm pessimistically optimistic about this.
As of right now, I think we're ruling out the Clippers are done. They're out of this.
It's Toronto or the Raptors. Toronto or the Raptors. It's Toronto or the Lakers.
My thing is, why would Kawhi 100%. Take such a long time, talk to Magic Johnson, and put that we know he wanted to come to LA.
You want to know my thinking on it? I'll tell you my thinking on it. He had a conversation. Him and Dennis or Matt. Gotta clear my throat.
Get your names right. You got like 4 of them there.
Uncle Dennis and Magic Johnson had a conversation today. And my guess is they took from that, hey, look. So here's what we want to do. We want to settle this. We want to get this roster like this. We have this. Here's the plan for this, this, and this. And Kawhi is gonna take it, let it consume himself, take a night, chill. Mm-hmm. Would you be surprised? I wouldn't be if tomorrow we heard Kawhi Leonard is not gonna take any more meetings. Because I would not be.
He hasn't taken any meetings.
But that's what I'm saying. We were supposed to have a meeting today, so I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow. We hear that he's not going to take any more meetings, and that the deal gets consummated within a couple days. It just wouldn't surprise me, because does he really need to have a meeting with the Raptors at this point? I really don't think he does. Mm-hmm. He's been there for a whole year. They're going to give him the max deal. They know what it's all about. Masai's talked to him. Hell, Nick Nurse talked to him after he's talked to everybody he's need to talk to. Like, if the Clippers are out of it, which we think they are, I mean, there's really nothing they can pitch him anymore. It's literally the Lakers and the Raptors, and the Lakers talked to him today, so I think in the next day or two we're going to hear something.
I'm going to assume tomorrow we find out if he's staying or going.
I think tomorrow will be the big the turning day. Mm-hmm. If we hear a lot of Lakers stuff, it's probably a wrap. But if we start hearing he's questioning this and that or whatever, then maybe it goes the other way. But right now, I would say the Lakers are in the driver's seat. Chris Carter has said as such. He thinks it's the Raptors and the Lakers, and he said, "Don't forget."
Which is the weirdest person to me who has more inside information.
And then Broussard said today the Lakers are in the lead, which I don't know what to take of Broussard at times.
Well, I mean, he somehow predicted.
But the weirdest guy that I'm believing in, that a lot of people probably don't want to believe, is Cuffs the Legend. He's LeBron's best friend. He called LeBron to the Lakers in 2017 before he even hit free agency in 2018. He said, I'm going to have to turn my notifications off for the next few days with star emoji eyes, and had a Ric Flair in a Lakers jacket with doing the woo. I don't know, dude. I think
I will say I don't.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
If the Lakers don't, to me, I don't think anyone knows at this point outside of Kawhi. I think tomorrow we'll find out. At least you'll start seeing more and more hype.
I think so too.
So with that, we'll leave you. And hopefully tomorrow, the next day, we'll have another pod and we'll go through more information. So with that, there's one other thing before I'm going to go.
Okay.
With a signing trade for Russell, triggering Golden State Warriors hard cap, basically the only way they can get him and fill out a team is moving one of Andre Iguodala or Draymond Green. I think Iguodala's gone, so...
Yeah.
Or Green, because I could see
Iguodala did ask for that Magic meme with the ... and that was 6 hours ago. So,
he might.
It makes sense.
Well, he would. It would have to be a trade. It wouldn't be a cut.
Dude, I don't know. If for some reason he wound out on the buyout market,
he might get bought out to another team a trade.
Dude, if the Lakers manage to get him,
a great bench player.
Oh man.
All right, we're gonna end you there. Have a good one. We got off and. D'Angelo Russell officially got traded to the Warriors, and Iggy has been traded to Memphis. And it sounded at first like the Warriors give up 3 first-rounders to trade Iggy, but it sounds like it's a descending. So basically, it's like first, like if they don't get it that year, they'll go to the next year and the next year. So Memphis actually got, it looks like, 1 first-rounder out of it. So I'm happy to add D'Angelo Russell to the Warriors. I'm just excited to see how that works out. Should be fun. And again, you'll hear us on the pod tomorrow. But I'm excited as a Warriors fan because it's better than just losing Kevin Durant. We got something of value, even though we are paying him like $27 million a year for 4 years. So peace.